So I did turn it, so if you want to turn it back to you or anything.
Okay. Unmute, you said?
It is unmuted, yeah.
All right. Hi, everyone. All right. I don't know if I whistle or. Hello, everybody. Here we go. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us virtually and live. We're happy to have you here today. So thank you so much. We're at College of the Canyons right now in the University Center. I'm Amber Cole, and we are happy to have you here today. Some of you are still filing in person and online, but we're just happy to have everyone here today for our special hybrid meeting. And I am going to introduce Lois Baccio here, who will introduce our guest speaker for the day.
Thank you so much, Amber. How great it is to see everybody. This is our 11th year of operation for this Nonprofit Leaders Network. And probably for this fiscal year, our third meetings, I think. Maybe I've lost track. But anyway, it's so good to see you all because we have a great presentation for you today. I'm going to introduce someone who means a lot to me, so I might get choked up. Jessica Boyer is a visual storyteller whose background is community journalism. She has led her on a journey of preserving. You can tell I'm wearing the wrong glasses. Of preserving history and sharing unique perspectives to broad audiences. She is the executive director of SCV TV, the Santa Clarita Valley's local nonprofit community media center, where she oversees programs that promote our nonprofits, schools, businesses, events, and other organizations. Programs that she oversees include Finding Art Santa Clarita, SCV TV's Community Corner, SCV Soundcheck, SCV in the Movies, several documentary-style history programs about the community, and numerous other in-studio and on-location productions with the goal to develop and strengthen community relationships with the station. Jessica also serves on the Santa Clarita Valley Education Foundation Board of Directors, Santa Clarita Valley Forum 4th of July Parade Committee, and in an advisory capacity to College of the Canyons Media Entertainment Arts Department, Hart School District's College and Career Readiness Program, Bridge to Home Boys and Girls Club of the Santa Clarita Valley, and so many more. And really that's where it all begins, because there are very few nonprofits in the Santa Clarita Valley who have not benefited by her wisdom with regard to reaching out and talking to the media. She's not just talking about SCV TV when she counsels you about outreach and communication. She's one of the real special young leaders in our community, and we are really, really so lucky to have her here today. So, Jess.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
That was the sweetest. Wow. Oh my gosh. Thank you all. Zoom, I hope I'm going to be loud enough for you. If I'm not, please let Amber know. And thank you for having me here today. It's such an honor and pleasure to be able to share this information with you all. So yeah, I'm going to dive into it. Please feel free to ask questions. I feel weird just like talking at people. So please feel free to like raise your hand, ask questions while it's still fresh in your mind. Also, I have a bunch of videos because I'm a good writer and a good creator, but I'm not a great speaker, so I'm going to do my best for you.
You got this.
Thank you. But this is a media toolbox, just a guide to helping you and your organizations tell your story and use local and regional media to get your information out there. So, I'm going to give you a little quick. Lois did the most amazing introduction. So the only thing I wanted to share with you is that I grew up in Santa Clarita. I went through the Augustinian School District. I know Joelle's kids. I went through Hart District. I actually was in the first Arroyo Seco Junior High School broadcast program. I got kicked out of Saugus High Schools, but then worked my way back in. So I always like to tell the kids that, because if they're going through a rough time, and as I did when I was their age, like it kind of all comes full circle sometimes. But I have this quick little fun video that just gives you an idea of what a day in the life of mine and my team looks like. This is from 2019, and this was, I went to COC, I went to CSUN, but I also did this with years, and they were kind enough to do a fun video about like a day in life. And I just want to share it with you, especially because there's some super cute Boys and Girls Club kids in there. Just give it a second, maybe. I'm Jessica Boyer. I'm the production manager at SCTV, and I'm a Pierce College alumni. I don't know how to do that. Sometimes I'm in the field, or I'm working in the studio. Another day I'm talking to students. Another day I'm filming interviews, and the next day I'm doing post-production. It's like the most rewarding job because I do something different every single day. It's like, it's the coolest thing ever. We're gonna film some students that are gonna be accepting college offers.
Class of 2019 Fine and Performing Arts majors.
The things that I learned in college really set the fundamentals for what I'm doing now. They were teaching me how to be a journalist, how to be a writer, how to be a photographer, so that when I'm in the field, I'm thinking about the next steps. The skills that I learned there are translating to where I am now. So that's just a little video that I think is like a good illustration of what we do. It's also probably a good plug for getting students to go take journalism classes in college. SCTV is the local 501c3 nonprofit community media center. It's been operating under contract with the Santa Clarita Public Television Authority for the past 15 years or so. Before that, it was run by the cable companies. If you remember King Video or AT&T, Spectrum, all that fun stuff. Now we're on Spectrum and AT&T. But
Hi, this is
the
Amber
station,
Cole, and
our
I was in
operations
a
are decided
presentation
by
room, and
a
we were
group
trying to
of
figure out
city
how to
leaders
turn down
and
the
educational
volume.
leaders. So the superintendents from all 6 public local school
We
districts
are in room
are on
205
that board,
at
and they
the
help make
Mesa.
decisions about the shows that we produce. We had a news operation for a while. We no longer do. We primarily focus on humanities and civic organizations now. So you see
we're having to
most of the
connect
work we do
through a
is with the
laptop.
show Finding Art Santa Clarita, which highlights local arts and culture
It sounds like
organizations.
though it's blasting through
SCTV's
the
Community
room through
Corner,
the
which I
room
know a lot of you
speakers, and
have
she
been
seems
on
unable
that
to
show.
control it through the laptop.
And that's a kind of a show that has
how I could
4
correct that.
segments, different organizations every single week. We have historical documentaries. You're going to see a clip of one that we did on the New Hall
It's
Auditorium
there
and
on
how they
laptop
spent the last
speakers.
20, 30 years rebuilding it. Oh, I think longer than that. What else do we have? We also have a show called SCV in the Movies that talks about films that have been in the history of film in Santa Clarita, because our history is so rich in film. And then we have a show called Soundcheck. Which brings on local bands who are usually not signed to a record label yet. And we bring them into the studio. In the past, we took them at the Main or at Rancho Pilos.
No.
We give them a fully produced show that they're able to put on all their platforms. We give any music people in here, we give them the stems so that they can go in and they have all the tracks and they can like tweak it and put it on Spotify and Apple Music and all that fun stuff. So that's a lot of the operations that we do now. But we also do a lot of community things. Like
it's almost like a button symbol.
do Man and Woman of the Year's videos every year. We do the Silver Spur videos usually. Bruce has finally got to be aired. Where Bruce, we had it done in 2019 and then COVID. But yeah, so we do a lot of community programming. And so I have a little video for you about our team.
I'm sorry, I can't talk.
Very groovy, but this is just some behind the scenes of our team doing work on the shows that I just told you about. We also do the State of the City's live stream production. Okay. Well, I'll keep going forward, and we can. You guys can watch the. I think it's still really loud, so you guys can watch the videos and the link from Cindy. You'll get the full access to this, and there's a ton of clickable stuff in here. I'll point them out to you all, and that way. Sorry if you guys want to see visually. Okay. So. The main things I'm going to talk to you about today are practical storytelling tools. I'm going to help you build that toolbox, identify what's in your toolbox to tell your story. Media platforms and distribution channels, all the different options that you have.
Can we share the screen on?
We are.
Okay. Okay. I want to make sure. Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, it should be being shared right now to the. Are the Zoom people not able to?
Okay. I'm sorry. I just see you.
Okay. And then creating media assets. So I'm going to give you just like the video, photo 101 of how to make all this stuff. Web communication and social media, and then working with media outlets. I'm going to give you all the tips. Like Lois said, I'm not just going to tell you how to work with SCBTV. I'm going to tell you how to work with KHTS and The Signal and the LA Times and NBC4 and all those organizations and get your information out there. So, this is kind of this is where I want you to start your organization's website, and then I want you to move down from there. So everything should start from your website. You should post your press releases, you should post photos, you should post a ton of stuff to your website, because if you can get people to come back to your website, they're going to learn more about you, they're going to donate, they're going to sign up for events, they're going to buy tickets, they're going to do what you want them to do. So your organization's website is one of the most important things, using your website as a base for your storytelling. Then you're going to go to social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok. If you have any Gen Zs, they love the TikToks. We'll talk about interns and stuff in a bit, but those are really great platforms. And then local and regional media organizations. You have a lot of options here in Santa Clarita. We're so close to LA, and LA is the #2 market in the country. And so other than New York, it's just behind New York. So you have newspaper, TV, magazine, radio, non-traditional media. Those are media that are based primarily online, TikTok channels, stuff like that. So here's your storytelling toolbox. Mine's yellow. You guys can choose whatever color you want for yours. Media assets. So I'm going to give you options. If your organization has the budget, you can hire all these people. You can get a marketing and public relations firm. You can get a video production company. You can get a photographer. You can get a social media manager. You can get ad space, web developer. You can also get these people to volunteer for you. They're great to have on committees. They're great to have on your board. And if you don't have the budget for that, that's okay. Most people don't. So DIY it. So I'm going to show you today how to DIY it. So the easiest way you can get information to local media is a press release. This is the #1 thing I tell every single nonprofit that calls me and says, how do we get coverage? A press release. This is the how-to guide. These links are clickable when you guys get the link. There's a link from Forbes, CBS. You can see the city of Santa Clarita writes beautiful press releases. They have an amazing public information team. You can see examples of theirs. 350 words. Carl Goldman taught me that one from KHTS. 350 words is ideal for search engine optimization. That's how Google picks you up. That's how Google gets your website. It's a math and science that I'm not fully educated on, but I know 350 words. That's what I always keep in my head. You need to tell who, what, when, where, why, and how. These are the 6 questions that your press release needs to answer. AP style. It's okay if you don't use AP style. It's Associated Press style. When we go to journalism school, that's what they teach us how to write in. It's kind of like MLA or APA or I think that's it that I can remember. But anyways, it's a type of style of writing. It's okay if you don't write that way. most media organizations will take your press release and they'll kind of rework it to fit AP style. Include at least one quote. Usually it's from your executive director or your chair, or a person benefiting from the service or the program. And then contact information. Don't forget contact information, phone numbers and emails, they're great. Yeah. Any questions about this so far?
So anytime I've sent you one, you've rewritten
Not me personally, but and we don't rewrite them all the way. We usually retweak. There's a whole semester of journalism school that I could give you, but basically the way that we like to format press releases is called the inverted pyramid style. You want as much information at the very first sentence, because I don't know about you guys, when I'm scrolling on Facebook, when my parents are scrolling on Facebook, they see the first sentence and they're like, oh, I read the story, and I keep scrolling. So you want as much information in the first sentence as possible. So a lot of times we'll just like kind of beef up your first sentence.
What's your opinion on links inside your press release?
Links are awesome. Links are great. And again, going back to Carl Goldman, he would tell you that links are, that's really great for search engine optimization.
Under number 2, there's another one. How much?
How much?
You always want to know how much is this going to cost?
Right. If you're doing an event or you're doing a fundraiser or anything, like what's this organization trying to raise? How much money? How much are tickets? How much is a membership? Were there any other questions? Yeah.
What makes a good press release? Like what information should be there? Oh, put a press release out.
Yeah, so normally it's the biggest thing is the who, what, when, where, and how. So who is the organization? Who are the people benefiting from, I think you're on the second monitor, sorry. Maybe, did you get, okay, there you go.
Sorry, I was trying to fix
No,
the
you're
sound.
good, thank you so much. Who's the organization? What are you trying to do? What is the event? Why are we having the event? Why should people care? There's so much information out in the world. Why you need to tell people why should people care?
I'm sorry, did we scroll ahead?
I think so. I have it on 2 different monitors. I think you guys are good but you are on this monitor. If you wanted to like bring the key back over.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I appreciate you guys helping trying to figure this out. See, the mouse is right there now. But you don't, yeah, it's not letting it change the audio for whatever reason. And there's my system preferences if you want. Oops. Okay. Did that kind of answer your questions? I'm a visual person, so I always like to look at examples. I have an example coming up for you in the next slide.
When you speak to at least one quote,
It's not allowing her to do anything.
Usually the quotes are something along the lines of, this event is so amazing, we love how it benefits
Oh, is it wanting the sound from
the
that?
kids organization. The kids every
Were you
year,
using it?
your donations, your involvement, it just makes such an impact on the community. It usually is something to that
'Cause there's no
effect
microphone
about
on
it. It usually
your
answers
donation changed my life.
it usually answers the why.
Okay, why come?
Yeah, and usually it's kind of like a testimonial almost.
I think the question was like, when do you use a press release? For what kind of, is it just for events or what's newsworthy?
Right, that's a great question. So anytime you get, thank you. anytime you announce something, if you have an event, if you have a fundraiser, if you want to just tell people about a new service or a new program, if you want to remind people about a deadline for a service or a program or an event or registration or if you get a new board member, if you get a new executive director, if you get a new staff member, if you get, if you have a story that you want to tell, like, for example, if there's if you're an organization that serves kids, for like the Boys and Girls Club, for example, and you want to tell the story of, they just had their Youth of the Year, Hailu, and if you want to announce that Hailu won Youth of the Year, and you want to tell Hailu's story a little bit, that's a really great opportunity to do that. I don't think you can send out too many press releases, that's my opinion. At CBTV, we publish about 30 a day. And so, and honestly, that's not even getting all of them every day. So, and I know that it is similar to what the Signal and HTS and some other organizations work towards as well. Yeah.
My name is Chuck Simon. I'm president-elect for the Women's Council Realtor, and I think I serenaded you at Carrie.
You did.
Yes, okay, you're the first. What is the lead time?
I'm gonna get to that.
Okay.
As much time as possible. Press releases, I get usually 48 hours is the minimum. 48 hours is like, but a week or 2 weeks is, I usually tell nonprofits, if you're announcing an event or you're trying to push for something, 2 weeks in advance is kind of that golden window. Because people are looking at their calendars, they're planning out things for a press release. For other stuff, it's gonna be a longer lead time.
Oh, Jessica, would it be possible for you to stand a little closer?
Ooh.
Yeah, did we?
Sorry, someone
No,
just
you're
made a comment that.
No, I'm glad. Thank you guys. I'm gonna do my best.
Yeah, that's loud.
It is very loud. And I've never seen it do that before. Okay, so the next one we have is, I have an example for you of a press release. This one's from Bridge to Home. Or actually, this is not a press release, I'm so sorry. This is a media advisory. Media advisories are different than press releases. Media invites are different than press releases. Media invites and media advisories, we normally do not publish them. I get calls a lot from people that are like, why didn't you publish my press release? And we're like, it was a media advisory. We're not allowed to publish those normally. And they're like, oh my gosh. So this is an example of a media advisory. This is if you want to invite the media to come out to your event for coverage, event, fundraiser, program, launch, whatever. It kind of, it's not as pretty as a press release because it's not for publish normally. And it kind of goes over the who, what, when, why, how of the event. And this is primarily used for visual, sometimes audio media to come out, and usually for press conferences, ribbon cuttings, stuff like that. Articles are different than press releases and media advisories. Articles, by our definition at least, is an original story that we're going to write about you. SCV-TV doesn't do a ton of those at the moment due to resources. You'll see more of those with like the Signal and KHTS, Inside Magazine of Santa Clarita. But those are where they're going to call you up and they're going to interview you, or they're going to meet you for coffee and interview you and write a story about you. You can reach out to media and pitch to them an article. You can say, hey, I have this really great event. I would love to share this story with you. And they'll do an article about you. But you got to pitch it to them. You got to give them a really good reason why, because local media is usually very under-resourced. I can't speak for everyone, and I'm not speaking to anybody particular. Maybe there's some local media that are doing really well, but it's really hard to be a media organization, let alone a local media organization. Usually budgets are really tight. Usually it's a jumping off point for people who are just out of college or in college. They're there for a few years and then they go to the next thing. Because one of the things that we hear a lot in college is you got to jump through the market so that you get to the top of the market. So usually most of the people that you see in local media are only there for 1 to 2 years. So it's a lot of training and bringing up to speed. And then most media organizations have a general inbox. That's SCV-TV's. A lot of them start with info at whatever. So feel free to write that one down. Feel free to say hello to us. The way ours works, and I know the way a couple others locally work, is that a bunch of writers log into that account and they can see everything. It depends who's working, what day, when, whatever. So if you send your stuff to there, somebody's going to find it. I will always encourage you to email me, but as you can probably ask Lois and Cindy, I'm horrible at my email. I try my best. But if you send it to info and you need something published, that's the fastest way to get something out there. Contact early. If you want somebody to come out for coverage, I'm probably gonna say this a lot, and you guys are probably gonna be like, oh, just stop saying it. But honestly, I get a lot of phone calls the day before an event, and they're like, please come out. I'm like, I have a staff of 5, most of which are part-time. Sorry, can't do it. So for coverage, we ask people like a minimum a month out. So when you're planning your events, make sure that on your task list, on your timeline, that you're planning in your marketing and media coverage. Any questions about this before we? I'm trying to split it. I'm sorry, Zoom
Oh, you're fine.
people.
Sorry.
Okay. Videos and photos. My biggest piece of advice is to regularly collect your own videos and photos. Some of the examples that you're going to see of PSAs that we've done for nonprofits use their own videos and photos. The SCV Education Foundation is fantastic about this. They keep a Google Drive. They upload photos and video from every single event, every single meeting or whatever. Wish Foundation does this as well, very well. They have a Google Photos shared drive. We love the Google Workspace, but they have a Google Photos shared drive, which is fantastic. It has their entire archive of every photo, of every board member, of every event, of every fundraiser, of everything. So that's a really great way just to, even if it's taking it on your phone, and I'm gonna go over that, take photos and videos of your events. Don't rely on just the media coming and covering it. Yeah, create a volunteer position, create an internship position. We have a ton of journalism students, photography students, film students that need practice, that need to get out there. There's a lot of really, there's amazing local production companies and organizations like 3 Leaves and Schlick Art and Lee Waters Company. Like, they're amazing, and a lot of the stuff that they do is to help nonprofits. And so that's a really great thing. If you want to bring on an intern or a student, you can say, look, you guys, if you can help us document.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
You can help us, if you help us with this, it can lead to like these amazing careers and businesses, if that's the direction that you want to go into. Create a hashtag for your event on social media. Have people hashtag things, and then also ask for permission if you're going to use somebody else's media.
Do you have a suggestion of how to find those journalism students or other students? Like, we've thought about that before, either at high school or the college or COC level, but we have no idea where to start to find them.
Yeah, so how do you find college students? You can post an internship on the COC has an amazing website. They have the cooperative work experience. It's CWE. It has 2 E's. I don't remember the last E. But they have really great internships. You can do like internship or volunteer job postings there. The city of Santa Clarita has volunteer job postings on their website. If you reach out to students, professors, I'm gonna call it like Dave Brill and people like that. Like, he runs the news, the broadcast journalism program here at COC. And see if his kids are looking for an internship or volunteer opportunities. Even at the high school level, they need those National Honor Society hours. They need those Boy Scout, Girl Scout, whatever Scout hours. So like, if you reach out to the journalism instructors, the TV production instructors, see if like you can get some volunteers there. Also put it out on Facebook and social media. I mean, the social media is such a powerful tool. I know it's been tough with COVID getting volunteers and stuff. I know we've been having a challenging time getting interns back into the doors. So I would be patient. I think over the next couple of months, things like the interns are going to be really hungry. Media release. This is if I'm not a lawyer, but if you are taking photos at an event, you can put it in your waiver. You can post a sign that there's going to be photos and video taken at the event. Anyone who walks through this barrier is subject to being photographed. It covers you so that somebody can't come back and be like, hey, you took a picture of I know we have Touch a Truck coming up. I'm on the board for the SCV Education Foundation, and we have Touch a Truck coming up. And if we take a photo of a really cute kid sitting in a fire truck, look at their future career, they're amazing. They're really powerful photos, but if the parent comes back and is like, you're not supposed to be taking pictures of my kid, then it gets messy. So I always recommend media releases. I always recommend being more careful than not, but I'm not a lawyer, so I can't advise you. So.
What are you all doing at Touch a Truck? How are you covering for that? Are you putting signs out, or are you having people?
I don't think we've talked about that yet. It just kind of came to my mind, and I just kind of threw you under the bus there.
That when we sell the tickets.
It should probably be. We should probably send out a waiver. It's just to cover yourself. If you want to talk to, I'm sure most of you have lawyers or lawyer friends, you can kind of ask them about the more specifics of it. There's examples too. All these underlined things are clickable, so you guys can kind of click through them. Okay, I'm gonna give you photo 101. And sorry, Zoom friends, I'm going to walk away from you for a second. But, so there's 3 big components I want you to look for. Framing. That's a wide shot, a medium shot, and a tight shot.
My husband.
Is that?
Yeah, right.
Oh my gosh! Aw, that's one of my favorite pictures. I think that's on my website somewhere if you would like a copy of it.
I'm her lawyer. I'm her lawyer. We'll talk.
I took it for there's a gray rule with if you're part of the media and you're on public property, media can photograph you no matter what. Usually, you can again check with your lawyer. I guess that's one of the bonuses of having media come out and cover it because it's not really under commercial. It's more under media news gathering. But it gets into the legal weeds, and I'm not a lawyer, so I'll leave it there. Rule of thirds. If you look at even if you're looking at your phone and you're taking a picture, break the frame into 9 individual squares. If you put people's faces on the thirds, like you see, he's kind of there. She's on one of the thirds. It makes the image more compelling. It makes it more interesting. It gives you some more angles to work with. And then focus. Make sure your stuff's in focus. I know he's centered. This is a headshot. And so make sure your images are in focus. If they're not in focus, it takes away from the image. People are looking at that it's soft or whatever, so just make sure. And the nice thing about phones and stuff, if you're taking it on your phone, most things end up being pretty in focus unless you have people running through the camera.
But you forgot to say clean the lens.
And clean the lens, yeah, because we all, especially these phones are in our pockets and our kids are licking them. I don't know, but
we have a question back there.
Yes.
I had an instance one time when we were on the Portsville Chamber of Commerce where one of my web people used a Getty image. We paid $600 for that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, these are capturing your own images. I can totally talk a little bit about taking images from online. And that's why in the previous slide I said ask for permission if it's somebody else's. Getty, the way that they operate is they sell their images. They send their photographers out and they sell those images. They license those images. So they can come after you. Anyone can come after you. But usually it's not worth it for them to come out, and usually it's great marketing for that organization. But whether it's Getty or any other media organization, if they capture it, they own the rights to it. So it's good to ask for permission. But again, I'm not your lawyer. If you guys want to ask for forgiveness, sometimes it works. Video 101. So you're going to take a lot of the same rules that we just talked about with the photos. Rule of thirds, framing, all that fun stuff. Video 101. Orient your camera horizontally. Unless you're filming for Instagram Reels or TikTok, then you do it vertically. but we get a ton of, if you want it to air on like SCV TV, we want it horizontally because the TV, it's no longer 4:3, but it is 16:9 and it's this way. So when I got to the station, we were still 4:3. So, but record one angle for at least 10 seconds. I want you to record it and hold it 10 seconds. Anyone counting? Hold it for 10 seconds because a lot of times we get clips and it's like, okay, 1, 2, okay. And so that's not enough time for us to put a graphic up, for a transition, anything. Make sure to record for at least 10 seconds. Use a tripod. Tripods, they come really light now. They're not really heavy and stuff. You can get a monopod that's just one leg. They have gimbals and stuff now too that like balance themselves. They're fantastic. You can do whatever, you can spend as much as you want, you can spend as little as you want. They have really cute Amazon ones that, I think we have one in here. This is my nonprofit kit that I'm going to show you guys in a little bit. I do not have the little tabletop one, but you can get little tabletop tripods for your phones and stuff too. Time lapses are super fun. Slow motion, super fun. Your phone does this all now. It's super awesome. Weird angles. If you hold your phone kind of like this, it's called a Dutch angle. Can't think of any others at the moment. Like get on the floor. Like if you, but I don't get to go out and cover stuff anymore. But if you saw me back in the day, I was like on the floor or climbing up on things. I think one time I got put on a lift that went like 100 feet in the air. Like it's super, like you get all the different angles. Try and you want to tell the story of what's happening with your organization and the event and your events and stuff. So try and like find some fun angles. It's super fun. Good lighting's great. And audio. A-roll is interview, testimonial, and speech footage. Anything where anyone's talking, that's called A-roll. B-roll is footage that reinforces, like it's it reinforces the talking points. It's just, there's not usually talking, it's usually pretty stuff. So if you have if an organization asking you, do you have B-roll? It's usually photos, video of the event, not usually of testimonials. I'm trying to go through this a little quickly. Did we fix the audio? Okay, so I'm gonna skip through these. Everyone will have access to this PowerPoint forever. I'm not going to take it down. The link I sent Cindy, she's going to send it out to all of you. You can access it. You can click on the videos. You can click on the links and watch all of them. But this video right here was a video that the City of Santa Clarita filmed. Their arts and events team. They filmed back during COVID, but it's just a time lapse of them creating a prop for their event. And they used it, they posted it on social media and they used it to promote their event. And it's a really quick, easy way to get media out there for your organization. This right here is the Boys and Girls Club Get to Know Us video. We helped them edit it, but Matt Nelson ran around with his phone and I think his video camera. He had an old video camera. I think it had tape in it still. But he ran around with it and got a bunch of video of the kids saying why they love the Boys and Girls Club, and then we helped him cut it together. I don't know if that was. And then this is a PSA that we just did for Wish Education Foundation. Again, going back to that Google shared photos, Amy just sent me the link of all of her Google shared photos. We took what we wanted. We brought Dave Caldwell in to do the voiceover, and it was done. And this is something SCV TV offers for free for every single nonprofit in our community. If you want a free PSA, voiceover PSA or green screen PSA, 30 to 60 seconds, we will do that for you. And this is an example of a green screen PSA that we did of Heart of the West for Carousel Ranch, promoting their event. Again, you guys will be able to click all these. This is an example of a piece that we did as part of our Finding Art show for Forge Ahead Arts. They did an install at Westfield with this beautiful art piece that nobody really got to see because COVID happened a week later. But this is it's only B-roll. There's no voiceover, there's nobody talking. It's just B-roll of them installing their piece. So you can use this, this way of putting together video to really tell your organization's story. And then the last one is a piece that we did for the New Hall Theater, which was a history like mini doc that we did, and where it's a lot more highly produced, and it interviews a lot of different people about rebuilding the New Hall Auditorium.
Go watch that. It's really, really cool. Not saying that because I'm from the New Hall Theater, but it's a very cool video. So
Thank you.
Really, really
It uses a lot of really cool historic photos and stuff, and we talked to a lot of people. One of the gentlemen in the video was the superintendent, and he passed away about a year or two ago. And so it's a really, really cool history video if you're interested in history. Not saying that because I made it, but it's cool. So, yes.
I'm sorry. Before I forget, can we digress a little bit back to
Yeah.
the press releases?
Yeah.
How do we know who to direct those to, or did I miss that?
I'm going to get there.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're on it. I'm going to get there. I'm almost there. So suggested equipment, camera, tripod, microphone, lights, and video or photo editing software. A lot of this stuff, if you have it on your phone. Tripod, like I said, you can get whatever kind of tripod you want. We have a nonprofit kit. I'm gonna tell you about that right now. But you can get a tripod for your phone. You can get a little DSLR camera. There's a lot there. They make them mirrorless now, so they're not DSLRs anymore. You can get a little camera. It doesn't matter what kind of camera, as long as it records and takes video. You can get lights. Those LED lights are really, really inexpensive nowadays. And they're really great to just add a little bit of light, especially if you're interviewing someone. And video photo editing software. We at the station use Adobe Premiere, but you can get iMovie on your phone, and DaVinci is free. So there's a ton of free apps on your phone. So there's a lot of options there. We have 2 of these kits right now. They're kind of experimental. You guys are the first people to know about them. But we put together, because of the high demand and people asking for things, we put together this little kit. It came with a camera. I didn't check my gear before I grabbed it. But it normally has a little camera in it. And it also has a bunch of cables and other fun stuff. Zoom friends, I don't know if you can see me. But it comes with a really nice lavalier microphone. This is one of the ones that clip to your collar. It comes with it comes with an adapter so that you can plug it directly into your phone. It comes with a mount that you can put your phone on that'll go on this tripod that comes with the kit. It comes with an adapter for if you have a phone that doesn't have a headphone jack anymore. And it comes with, this is called XLR. It's a cable that we use for audio. It comes with one of these as well. We loan these out to nonprofits. We're not charging for them. We just ask that you let us know if it gets broken so we can replace it. But yeah, we have 2 of them right now. We're totally happy to bring some more on if the nonprofit community wants to use them.
So you would use that and then download it
To your computer, your phone, or, yeah.
It's amazing.
So yeah, these are set up for y'all to, you can email me, let me know that you want to borrow it, and we'll get set up to let you borrow it, take it out. We can show you how to use it if you have any questions. But yeah, we have 2 of them right now. So and we can certainly get more if this is something that's valuable to you guys. Okay. And then I kind of just went over this right now. You can use your phone, you can use a camera. You don't need one of the big, we call them ENG cameras, the ones that you see like people walking around with at Dodger Stadium, or us walking around with. You don't need one of those. Like, the phones record in 4K. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, types of media. We're almost to your question, I promise. You want to get action shots. You want to get portraits. You want to get testimonials. You want to get product details. You want to get the environment. So these are just some examples of photos that we've taken or that have been sent to us from nonprofits in the community, and that are just like different ways that you can showcase events or the things that you're doing. Okay, web communication. So these are some options for how you can communicate with people in the community. You can do a media kit, a brand kit, a sponsorship kit. This tells about your organization, about your mission, about your vision, about everything, so that if you have a potential sponsor, a potential donor, potential person interested in being a board member, you can send that to them. Newsletters, they're really, you can see I'm using the SCB Education Foundation as an example because I made their website a couple years ago, and I'm really proud of it. But we do newsletters that come out of it. We use Squarespace. If anyone has used, I'm not paid by Squarespace, but it's a really great option if you are not a website person. They make it super easy for you to build a website. So you can send out newsletters from it. We have a little photo gallery and a video about an event that we had done, a director's blog, so our press releases and blog posts go out there. And there's, again, links to examples. You can see SCV TV's media kit. It's a little bit out of date, but yeah. Social media, again, we kind of talked about this. Keep in mind what platforms you want to use, what demographics, how people use them. Facebook is used primarily by Boomer, Gen X, elder millennials. TikTok and Instagram, primarily Gen Z and greatest generation, or not greatest generation, what's alpha generation. What's TikTok? There's a lot of dancing on it. It's awesome. Millennials use TikTok and Instagram. Twitter is usually used by like the news community. That's, yeah, and you can plan and share. There's a lot of great websites that you can use to schedule out posts, which is awesome. And there's some paid and some of them are free.
Sorry, before you move on from there, do you recommend starting on any particular platform and moving? So sometimes I think my Instagram and my Facebook, I'm like, oh my gosh, it takes so long.
Yeah.
Do you start on Instagram and it automatically posts because you have it synced to Facebook?
I like to start on the organization's website, and then a lot, like Squarespace, for example, will like push it out to those to Facebook at least.
You have
but
them all linked.
Yeah, then it's good to start with your website and then push your website links out to the social media. And then
Squarespace? Did you say
Squarespace. Yeah,
Is that an app?
It's a website developer, kind of like WordPress.
Oh, okay.
But I think that I think they're super easy to use. I know WordPress has gotten with their new launch of, I'm forgetting the name, but I know they've gotten easier to use as well.
No, so Squarespace is now bought up by Weebly.com.
Oh.
So Weebly can get it. And Facebook has a market spot where you use like a suite where you post
Creator Studio or Business Suite, yeah.
Business Suite, and it goes to your Instagram and your
right.
and
Thank
your
you.
Facebook at the same time. So you just do one. However, if it's over 1 minute and 30 seconds, one of them is not going to pick it up.
Right. So that's a new thing that my team's been using. I've been out of the loop with a little bit. But yeah, since Meta owns Facebook and Instagram, you can push them both out, but you do get limits because Instagram was trying to be kind of TikTok-ish and it's just that it gets a little complicated. So you can,
You still have to post it to your stories.
And you still have to post it to your stories.
Separate.
That's why it's great to get a marketing intern or a marketing volunteer. But yeah, so media outlets. So I'm going to try and make this quick because I know we're coming up on time. But this is a list of pretty much, I might be missing a few, but most of the media outlets that are, and the city obviously isn't a media outlet, but they do have, they have a community calendar, and SantaClaridaArts.com has a community calendar. So these are all just different options for you to get the word out about your organization and your event. The ones that at least I'm aware of. I'm sure that there's plenty more. There's like a Santa Clarita Community Facebook group. There's like a Santa Clarita Helping Santa Clarita Facebook group. There's a Santa Clarita Nonprofit Facebook group. So obviously those are more the non-traditional media, but these are just a list of some of the options that you guys have. And then contacting media. So I'm going to answer your question now.
Thank you.
So the first thing is identify who is the best contact. Most traditional media have a news director, a publisher, an assignment editor, a production manager. Those are kind of the type of people that you'll reach out to. Just go to their website and see who it is. Usually their emails are on their website. Feel free to reach out to them. So those are usually kind of the titles of the people that you're going to be looking for. Try different methods. Like I said, the info@scvtv.com email box is the best way to get a hold of our team. If you email me, that's the best way to get a hold of me, other than calling me. But if you call the station or you text me, I'm totally going to forget about it, or I might not be there like I'm here today. So just try different methods and be patient with us. Again, not as many resources as some of the big media that you'll see in LA, so it might take us a little bit of time to get back to you, but don't let us forget. There's a good balance. Contact them early. Like I said, the 2-week to 1 month window is like kind of the magical window, but at least for SCVTV, we can post your press release or video if you just send us a video within 48 hours. And be understanding and flexible. So, and then show appearances. So I've listed some of the shows that we have done, that we do. So Finding Art, like I told you about, Sound Check, Community Corner. Community Corner is a really fantastic way for you to get information out to the community. I know that there the other media in town, other media regionally in LA, they all have different, similar types of shows, different versions where you can come on, you can talk about your program, your event, your organization, and just share about that. So make sure to see Community Corner is ours, but definitely check out everybody else's. You can go to their websites and learn about them. 5 Minute Foodie is great because it talks about food and everyone loves food, right? And then day of coverage. So again, reach out as early as possible so we can plan. The Signal and KHTS tend to send people out more than we do because our operations changed with the SCPTA that I told you about earlier. So we don't have as many people on the team to send out as we used to. We're primarily making TV shows. But if you want, you can still ask us if we have people available or if we can figure out a way to work it into Finding Art or Community Corner or Sound Check or a history show. We'll do that. We will try and find a way to cover your event or your organization. But definitely reach out to all the media. It can't hurt.
Jessica, can we pitch for Community Corner? You? Or?
So it just changed. You'll see on the packet that I have linked right here, it's Chloe, but Chloe just moved on. So it's Elizabeth now. But you can email me and I'll forward it to Elizabeth. I think you emailed me and I have about 300 emails in my inbox right now.
No, you returned my email.
Did I? Oh, good job, Jess. But I did see your email come in. So yeah, find out what they offer. You can just send them an email and be like, hey, what are the opportunities that my organization can use with your outlet? It's going to be different for everyone. I have an opportunities kit right here that it's like 20 pages, but it's a bunch of different ways that you can use SCVTV services for your organization. You can click it right here when you get the link. But yeah, we usually do a media sponsorship. So if we provide you with free website banners, free PSA, Community Corner appearance, and press release publishing in exchange for being listed as one of your media sponsors or partners. Every media outlet's different. I can't speak to what they're going to offer, but I know that most of them do offer services for nonprofits. And then that's it. Any questions?
Any diplomatic tiptoes we need to do between different medias? Say, I made a faux pas with Leon Warden one time. So,
We all do. But I adore Leon. He's one of my favorite. He's my boss, but he's also one of my favorite people on the planet.
Right. So I'm just wondering, is that just something I have to learn, or are there some guideposts?
Can I have some more context? Or maybe we can speak one-on-one
Right, 'cause
after.
I don't want
if
to
you'd
call out
like.
any of the other.
Yeah, I mean, we're all, it's like, I think the best way to go about working with media, and I think just in general, things are really hard right now for everybody. I think making sure that we all go into things with an extra dose of empathy and an extra dose of patience is extremely invaluable at the moment, and something that I've learned in the last couple of years. And I think that it never hurts to just ask, to just say, hey, I have this organization. I would love to learn about what you can provide, or how we can work together so that this is a great partnership. Because it's not only us helping you're helping us by getting our name out there as well, and getting content for our websites and stuff. So I think just going about it and being like, hey, I want to learn how I can work with you. I want to create a partnership. I think that's the best way to go about it with any media. So that's probably a way longer of an answer than you wanted, but any other questions?
So if our organization has a 30 to 60 second video about an upcoming event, we would first reach out to info@svb.com.
Yeah, send it to us. We'll publish it.
And just send it?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
I mean, if you want to be like, hey, this event is on this date or whatever. The thing about videos that I forgot to mention is with PSAs and stuff, we like to book those and receive those about 2 months in advance.
Okay.
It's okay if we get it a couple weeks before. If it's the week before, I'm not going to publish it. But it just because the way, at least and it might be different with other media outlets, but just from our perspective, if we're going to get a PSA, whether we make it or we help you make it or you send us one that you've already made, which is amazing, we like to run it as much as possible. So when you send it to us, I'm going to put it on scvtv.com. It's going to go on our Facebook, our Instagram, our Twitter. It's going to go on our daily newsletter. If you're not signed up for it, you should. It's awesome. It's going to go on our Spectrum, AT&T cable channels. It's going to go on Roku TV. It's going to go on Apple TV. And it's going to stream on scvtv.com. But it takes a lot. It's 10 platforms. So it's a little bit of coordinating on our end, and if we're going to put the resources to it, we want to make sure that we're running it as much as possible so that you're getting the most bang for your, not buck, but for your email. I haven't been looking at Zoom if there's any questions either. Do you mind looking?
Yes, we have one now.
Cool.
Okay, so how long does it take for a response from SCV TV? I sent a request on August 17th and have not heard back.
Cyan.
I'm not sure. Can you send me another email? My email's on the screen right now. Usually a week is like my window. I'm sorry. I know 48 hours like the corporate rule, but usually if it's a really simple question, I can get it back to you in a day or two, but usually my thing's like a week. But if you sent a press release to info, it should have been answered already. So if it's waiting on me, I'm sorry.
All right,
Are there
how
any
can
other
we
questions?
learn more?
I think so. You all will have access to this slideshow. Cindy can email it all to you. You're totally welcome to put it on the SCV Nonprofit Leaders website if that's helpful. And then there's a bunch of clickable stuff. You can email me. But check out, I put so much, a whole semester's worth of Media 101 in here. So feel free to check it out and then text me, call me. My cell phone number's not on there. But if you email me, my cell phone number's in my little tag thing. I didn't want to put it out. I didn't know how many people were going to be from the world on our Zoom call. So, but I'll give you my cell. You can call me. Yeah. And I'm totally happy to hang around and answer any other questions, if any. So. Bruce.
One of the things that I find most irritating, local media, and probably half the people in this room, the town 10 miles up the road, most people refer it as Castaic. It's not. It's Castaic. And
You
if
tell
you're
them.
a out of towner and you,
Castaic.
Call it right.
it is Castaic, has been.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
an
yeah.
Indian word and it's being morphed into an LA word.
Pronunciation is very important. I worked for KHTS for 3 years, and I did the radio broadcast. And I'll never forget. I can't remember if it was Jerry or Carl, but they walked in to my desk one time. I was still an intern, and they were like, 2 things. You messed up. I can't even remember what word it was, but you messed up this word, so you really need to practice your pronunciation. Second of all, this person called and they thought you were a 9-year-old because you sounded like a 9-year-old on the radio. So, it's very important. Please correct us. Please correct us. I hosted Community Corner yesterday, and I said one of our guests' names wrong, and she was like, I didn't want to say anything. I was like, no, your name's important. Castaic is important. So please correct us, but also know that a lot of the people on the front lines of our local media are often new in their careers.
Well, I've lived here since 6th grade. And it's Castaic. Thank you.
I just want to say I receive the morning brief every morning, and I love it. I love to read it, and I love clicking on it for more information, and I read it regularly.
Thank you so much. Okay.
I think we're going to close now, and please stay around. Jessica's offered to take our questions after the fact, but some of you need to leave and you don't want to miss a thing. Everything, as she said, is going to be sent to you. So I think this has been a great, Jessica, I want to thank you so much. There's a wealth of information. I never stop learning. And also, Amber, please. Thank you so much for the space here at College of the Canyons. Amber is our colleague on this committee, and she's been, and she's a newer member, and she's just jumped right in and helped us tremendously. Thank you so much. And thank you all for coming. Really appreciate it. Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you. So,
And then Zoom friends, feel free to email me if you sent a question and I didn't answer it. And if I didn't answer your email, I'll get you my phone and you can call me. Thank you. Bye.